Welcome to a beautiful day in Los Angeles. A sellout crowd expected at the Staples Center. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, fresh off the victory against the Thunder, now face Deron Williams and the gritty Utah Jazz. Downtown Los Angeles as the 2010 NBA playoffs continue. The first round is over now that Atlanta, the last one to advance. The Lakers did on Friday night with a thrilling victory in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. Meanwhile, Utah advances with a 6-game tough series against the Denver Nuggets, setting up this conference semifinal. Phoenix and San Antonio in the other one. That will start tomorrow night in Phoenix. Good afternoon, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand, Doris Burke with us as well. So the Lakers advanced. It was a tough series. It was an exciting series. And so much talked about all the flair with Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. But it's defense that's really been their go-to throughout the season and in that first round.
Well, surprisingly, you're talking about the Lakers inconsistent on the defensive end throughout the course of the season. Found a way when it mattered most to get it done. You talk about Ron Artest and the job he did individually against Kevin Durant. And then Kobe Bryant adjusting, shutting down Russell Westbrook and his ability to penetrate. The Lakers defense took over, played with a sense of urgency, and was the difference in that first round.
Meanwhile, the Utah Jazz advanced. They're shorthanded without a couple of starters, but they beat Denver. They're certainly the underdog. But when you've got Deron Williams and Carlos Boozer, that 1-2 punch on any given game, you can beat anybody.
Well, you take a look at Deron Williams and Carlos Boozer. They have to be as good in this series as they were against Denver. If not, they have no chance. They're going up against a better defensive team, but Deron Williams still has the ability to put up huge numbers. But the length of the Lakers has bothered the inside players of Utah, particularly Carlos Boozer and Paul Millsap. They've got to figure out how they can score over the length of the Lakers.
Injuries a big part of both teams right now. And with the latest on the Lakers side, let's check in with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Hey, Mike. Well, Lakers center Andrew Bynum has played all season long with what is being termed a very small tear in the cartilage of the front part of that right knee. It was asymptomatic all season long until Game 6 against Oklahoma City, where he hyperextended that right knee. Phil Jackson said he will give him a start. We'll give him an opportunity to see what he can do. Trainer Gary Vitti adjusted the brace on that right knee, attempting to prevent hyperextension. That is the thing that causes Andrew Bynum the most pain. We'll see, Mike, if he can go the full 20 Phil hopes for.
Well, he is in that starting lineup, Doris. And our starting lineups today presented by Taco Bell. First for the visitors. They win 53 games in the second round with a starting lineup of 3 second-rounders and an undrafted rookie free agent. Jerry Sloan's done an unbelievable job. And for the Los Angeles Lakers, as Doris mentioned, Bynum's in, and Ron Artest, speaking of unbelievable jobs, he was superb defensively against Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Our Spanish language version of today's game presented by ESPN Deportes. Use the SAP button on your television as we're set to go for Game 1, best of 7 here in the conference semifinals. And you saw those starting lineups for Utah, and that includes Kirill Fasinko, the third-year center out of the Ukraine, starting in place of Mehmet Okur, the all-star who's done for the season with an Achilles injury. Utah also out without Andrei Kirilenko. Kirilenko might come back for Game 3 as Deron Williams is really hurt Fisher with the foul. Williams saw the hand in front, used it wisely, and he is shaken up. He comes in with an injury. Game 6, final seconds, bruised his left elbow. And he's in some pain right now. And that's not fake hustle, Mark, because this is one of the toughest guys in the NBA.
Well, absolutely. You're talking about his size, his strength, ability to take a hit. And there's always a danger with making this move because you're talking about locking arms, certainly, and forcing your body into the body of the defender. Certainly Deron Williams a little shaken up.
So head athletic trainer Gary Briggs, one of the best in the business, he comes on, he'll check on him, and they call a timeout 20 seconds into the game. The Jazz continue to work on Darren Williams, who hurt himself on the first shot of the game, and they want to make sure he can go out and play, because if Williams is unable to shoot the free throws now, he cannot return to the game. The only time he can return after an injury if it's off a flagrant foul. That clearly wasn't. But Williams appears like he's going to be okay. It just happened 20 seconds into the game on his first shot attempt. Smart play from Williams. Fisher called for the foul, but somehow bringing that ball up was an awkward way. As we mentioned, he got hurt on Friday night as well. Closing seconds. The screen from Chris Anderson, and he injured his left elbow there. It was sore. He got some treatment on that. But that doesn't appear to be a problem, nor does the injury now. We'll see those. He gets to the line. And look at those numbers. First round against Denver. 6th in scoring in the playoffs and 1st in assists. He was absolutely brilliant against the Denver Nuggets.
And we talked about it. The Lakers had their hands pretty full in the first round against Russell Westbrook. Well, with all due respect, this is a different caliber player. This is the best in the business as far as point guards are concerned, and the damage that he can do throughout the series.
We didn't even do justice to those numbers. Those numbers are off the chart type of numbers.
And high shooting percentage as well. He's always been an excellent playoff performer, as Fisher's first shot was good. For Darren Williams, the problem is a lot of his playoff games have come against the Lakers, and they've ended in losses. This is the 3rd straight year these two teams have met in the postseason. Last year, they got knocked out in 5 games. 2 years ago, it was in the conference semis. Got knocked out in 6 games, so the Lakers have eliminated them the past 2 years.
And they've already put Ron Artest on Williams after just 1 possession.
Yeah, Williams looks okay now after the injury. He's got 5 points, and the Jazz the early lead. There's Gasol. Gasol's last basket prior to that one was pretty important. The follow in Game 6 against Oklahoma City to clinch that series on a tremendous follow. Wes Matthews knocks down the 3. Matthews, one of the terrific stories this year in the entire NBA. The rookie from Marquette. His dad won a couple of championships playing for the Lakers as a part-time player. And Matthews didn't get drafted, but he's a starter and playing very well. And he gets to guard Kobe Bryant down the other end, knocks it away, and comes up with a steal. Everybody on Utah as he throws up a brick. Looking at his hand.
No. Now you shot it. Take credit.
Fisher to Gasol. Gasol left-handed. Can't go. And another tip from Gasol.
And you see that size and length of the Lakers, the ability to miss and attack the offensive boards. Not much you can do except keep a body on him before he gets to the rim.
Senko didn't play a lot during the regular season, but now the starter. As Boozer's shot off the mark, Bynum the rebound. You hope for Bynum's sake that he's healthy. He's put so much work into coming back from a couple of bad knee injuries. And you like the fact that he's out there starting after hurting it the other night.
I think it would be tougher for him to handle if he was asked to dominate on the offensive end.
Oh, there's a dominant move. And he's limping as he comes up the floor.
And the reason why I say that is because he's in a position where guys will make plays for him. His job is to catch and finish. He's not asked to make plays for himself.
But he clearly was hobbling as he came up the court that time. Boozer, who was their top scorer in the regular season, hits that. But this is a difficult matchup for him, Jeff.
Well, it's the length. But Utah's going to score. They're a great offensive team, but where they have to get better is defensively. It's been too easy early, and they've had trouble guarding these guys the whole year.
The Lakers get an easy 2. Artest, nice move to the bucket. LA 5 of 6 from the field to start. Williams. Boozer stripped by Fisher. Fisher with a hand in his face. Off the mark. You mentioned about Utah. They were one of the highest scoring teams during the regular season. 2nd in the NBA in shooting. as Williams misses that. Here in the playoffs, they're first in scoring, first in shooting, first in assists. A very efficient offensive team. But they're going against a much different defensive team than they did in the first round. Gasol fouled on a pretty pass.
That's an outstanding pass. I mean, I don't know how many guys in the history of the game could make this play. That's a big guy with vision before the catch, realizing that help was on its way. That's a great read.
So you mocked me when I said ridiculously multifaceted last game, but this is. Look at this play. I'm telling you, there's not 10 point guards who can make that play.
Gasol averaged nearly 4 assists a game in the first